Somebody tried to soft cheat me at locals, so I taught them a lesson that they'll never forget in this video. Hey guys, this is Tom Bucks. Thanks for tuning into MST.TV, and it's been a while since we've done a ruling segment on this channel because we have all the rulings solved. People are reading cards. I'm just kidding, none of that is happening. In fact, there are some things that I thought that the format would solve over time that didn't get solved. So we're going to talk about it here today. We've got 3 rulings here that we're going to talk about, 2 really basic ones. These are the most common illegal plays I've seen so far, and there's going to be one more in-depth specifically about skill drain. That's right, someone tried to soft cheat me with skill drain, and I want to get to the bottom of this and explain it in as much depth as possible. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, and ding that notification bell. See if you guys got this one right, or maybe you got it wrong and maybe you were accidentally soft cheating somebody. Who knows? Okay. So thank you guys for doing that, and let's get to this. The most common illegal play is also the simplest one in this video. It's going to be Right of Eremysir. Right of Eremysir has a condition where you cannot use the effect of monsters on the field unless it is a special summon monster. So how is such a simple condition being forgotten? Well, I can tell you that it's not because they activated the token summoning effect and then they performed the normal summon. That would be too easy to catch. What typically happens is that from the moment of the token being summoning to their board getting wiped by 1 or 2 hand traps, for a full reset, they have a normal summon still available, and they normal summon out their Torn Scale, they normal summon out their Punk Zeman, or they normal summon out their Roxrose. These are the monsters that typically do have effects, and they activate it to get the extension because you can get double tuner monsters from the Punk monster. You can get the Basil Rose Shoot, and Torn Scale can dump a card into the graveyard and just further push. And these are the most common scenarios that I've seen with the condition being completely ignored. And if it's being ignored, that means the rest of the game state is illegal. And if the game state is illegal, that just means that you're dealing with a board that shouldn't exist, and therefore you shouldn't really have lost. And in a scythe-heavy format like this, it could lead to a scythe DPE play at the end. And in a format where you already have to deal with scythe DPE, an illegal scythe DPE is like the last thing you want to worry about. So in terms of what you can do, this is what I've started to do now, which is whenever I see the adventure token come out and another normal being summoned out, the immediate thing I'm going to ask is, did you normal summon? Is that your normal summon? And did you activate an effect with that monster? You just say it out loud to you and your opponent so that both of you have a little checkpoint in your memory saying, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to do this, or oh yeah, okay, I didn't do anything like that just yet, so my summoning is fine. So you can confirm the game state with your opponent, and also because you verbally said it, you'll still remember it at least sometime during the turn, so it's still fresh in your head. That's what I've been doing, and it's really been helping at keeping track of this particular illegal play. And if your opponent does happen to make an illegal play, well, call a judge over, and hopefully you guys can revert the game state to where it's still legal, and hopefully nothing, irreparable has occurred just yet. Hopefully you're not too far and it's like an accepted game state. For the second most common illegal play I've witnessed, again, it's related to the adventure token package. It's way too popular. Let's see if you guys can catch it. I'm going to say it word for word and see if you guys can follow with it. So I'm going to activate Right of Eremysir. I'm going to summon out my token, and then I'm going to put Faithful Adventure onto the field. Next, I'm going to normal summon a Cyberus gadget onto the field, and I'm going to activate my Faithful Adventure effect, and we're going to add the Draco back into my hand. Next, I'm going to activate the Faithful Adventure effect to get the Griffin, and now I'm going to special summon out my Griffin, and now I'm going to equip my Draco back. What was wrong with that particular statement? You guys have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and if you said that, hey, don't you have to send a card from your hand to the graveyard if you activate Faithful Adventure's monster searching effect? And you would be correct. I didn't send anything to the graveyard. The end board still looked correct. In fact, it looked more or less repairable, but the effect of Faithful Adventure did not resolve properly. All right, and this is very key, because it seemed correct. Your mind thinks it's correct because you see the 4 particular cards. You see Token, you see the Griffin Rider, you see Faithful Adventure, and you see the Draco back, and that's like, oh yeah, that's 1 card generated from Right of Eremysir, and you wouldn't be completely wrong, but it does require you to perform an additional summon if you want all of this to maintain the same hand size. The hand size here is really key because it's the difference between having an additional card for Droplet or not, and having that additional card in this particular format where there is no true grind game. it's gonna be the difference between winning and losing the game, and that's how important it is. Like, as minute and microscopic as this interaction may be, it is also very, very key. And typically what I see is this. I see someone activating the right, summon out the token, put the Fateful Adventure onto the field, and they go activate Fateful Adventure, add the Griffin, and then they say chain Griffin, summon the Griffin, and add the Draco back, and as a part of the resolution, send the Draco back away, and then equip it. I was like, hold on! Slow the hell down here, okay? Slow down, because that chain link was completely legal. You just merged 2 chain links in one just so that you wouldn't have to lose one single card in your hand because you'd perform that chain link. Then that was all botched. So what I would tell you guys to kind of keep in mind is that slow down when you perform all these things and make sure you declare your effects very clearly. Sometimes I needed to take a double take because I was looking at my hand and wasn't really paying attention to what my opponent was doing. This is when something like this would occur and get away with it. And to you, I say pay attention to what your opponent is doing, especially when they're playing with these cards, because in this format, it's just there's so little that is required to actually break the board, and because there is no grind game overall, it's the difference between winning and losing. Ruling number 3, this is the one that someone tried to cheese me with, and this is going to be with skill drain versus negation. I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Here you guys go. So can you activate Forbidden Droplet while there is a face-up skill drain on the field? I'll give you guys 3 seconds to think about it. 3, 2, 1. And if you said no, you can't activate Forbidden Droplet, well, guess what, guys? You are wrong. Before I confuse you guys, make sure you guys go check out MST.TV for some awesome sleeves, other merch, and there's going to be a very big drop coming out very soon, perhaps within the week, so you guys definitely don't want to miss out, so check it out at MSTmerch.com. Alright, let's get back to the answer. The incorrect logic behind this is that you're saying you can't activate this card because you're unable to resolve all parts of its effects. And to that I say, you are able to apply all parts of its effects. The key difference here between Imperm and Droplet is that if you try to use Imperm does not actually affect the game state because all monsters on the field are already negated. But whereas for Forbidden Droplet and Forbidden Chalice, it's kind of like the exception to the rule because they also do something else. They also apply a different effect, which is having the attack or attack boosting a monster. And because there's no such thing as halfway application, the negation effect is also going to be applied on all of this. So whether it be Droplet or Chalice, the monster is going to have their attack stack modded and they're also going to be negated. So what does that mean? So if you decide to remove the skill drain off of the field, then the effect is still going to be negated on that monster because the Chalice or the Droplet is still applying its effect on that particular case, right? So yeah, there's no halfway measure here. You either get it applied or it doesn't. In terms of activation legality, you have to be able to apply all the mandatory effects of a card in order to activate it. However, there are exceptions to that, which would be when a card effect does something else. And that something else does not require the other parts to even be successful. In this particular case, Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Droplet, they both have an attack modifier as well as a negation on monster. And because of that something else, you're applying the entire effect of the card, therefore not making an illegal activation because the entire effect is technically also being applied. And that being said, not only is that monster being affected by skill drain negated, but it is also again negated on top thanks to the Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Droplet. So when skill drain gets removed, again, the monster's effect is still negated. And just to give you guys like another weird example that is kind of related to this case. So what if you activate Infinite Impermanence and you target your opponent's monster and then they chain skill drain to negate everything? So in this particular case, skill drain would have negated everything and the Infinite Impermanence that targeted that monster will not be able to apply its effect because skill drain already kind of negated everything. And in that particular case, if skill drain does get removed off of the field, then that monster's effect will no longer be negated because Infinite Impermanence never applied onto that monster. Yeah, does that make sense for you guys? I hope it did. TLDR, you can use Droplet or Chalice while you're under skill drain because it does something else as well as the negation. The negation and the attack modification, they are not conjoined in a way where it's dependent on the successful resolution of each other. I want to give a huge shout out to N-Man for helping me clarify and word this and piece it together, because I was struggling to put this one together. Just remember, guys, that if you guys are going to an event, ask the head judge of any ruling that you guys are unsure of, so you have a safe baseline of how things will be ruled for that particular event. And that's all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed an old classic ruling segment coming from yours truly, well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. Really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out MSTmerch.com. We've got new drops this week, and I look forward to seeing you guys picking some of this really cool stuff up. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.